Okay, so we all come onto this planet Earth, and it is a little bit of a battlefield because there would be no story to follow or to have or be held if there were no contrast or conflict or anything in opposition, right? So, this is why it is so important that we know thyself. So, we, in this battle that we go throughout our life, nobody is without contrast or conflict, because keep in mind that those both have, the main words con in that, but nobody is without any of that in this lifetime. We all experience it, but we cannot win battles. We cannot win this battle of life if we are not willing to see and acknowledge and face that contrast and that darkness, right? So, in order to win these battles, we have to, if we want to heal, if we want to manifest, any way that we want to be or create the life that we want, we have to be willing to conquer the things that are blocking us or stopping us. And that darkness within us, that is where the enemy attacks the enemy. So, we will find that enemy is always our weakness. So, that's where we get hit, that's where it hurts, and that's where it will continue to pull from as long as that exists within us, right? So, being a warrior and winning on a battlefield of this life is not just a masculine trait or concept. That doesn't mean you just need muscles to, go on full head and full force. We all have the masculine and feminine energies within us, right? So the father gives us strength and the mother teaches us how to use it. So during this time period on Earth especially, but this has always been within us, it's just, the mother is rising and is coming forth, and we're going to be tested a lot. And, the father's the strength, the mother is going to and is and does teach us how to use our strength and when to use that strength. So if we are creating a business, if we are in a relationship, if we are any type of anything that we face in life, we have to know when to jump in and we have to know when to walk away from something. So when we stay in situations and places and things longer than we are to be there, and our intuition, which is our mother side, the feminine side, when we do not walk away from these things, when our intuition tells us to, that is creating karma for us. Anything is creating karma, good or bad. Karma is energy. Knowing when to jump in to something is great karma because you're following your intuition, and if you're doing it at the right time, when you feel it's time to jump and you take that leap and you jump in, you're going to have a positive effect to it because of, that energy. The time is right. Everything is on point. But when we stay places or, postpone or, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever we're doing to avoid doing something because it's difficult, it only becomes more difficult. So, being a warrior on this planet, which every single human on this planet has opposition, of whichever forces are within them, or the ones that they have to be willing to face in order to conquer. That's all of us. So in order to do that, we have to face that. So just like with healing, nobody can heal if they're not willing to face what's causing that within themselves that created that, right? So nothing external is as much of a factor as it is internal. So We can't heal if we're not willing to face or see or know that something that we're doing, or however we're contributing to something, if you think it's something else and you're relying on something else or somebody else to make the changes, that's denying or avoiding, or whichever it may be, that whatever we're not willing to face. And like I said, that is where we will get attacked. That's where we'll get struck. That's what will, take us down if we are not willing to look at it. Our weaknesses, you get hit where you're weakest. And this breaking down of planet Earth with this mother rising is going to continue to keep giving us more and more and more tests and maneuvering and, just finding our way through. And we are really, really needing to tap into our intuition and listen to it. So the father side is having the strength to do it, and the mother side is knowing when and how to utilize that strength. It is so vital that we are using both of these, and I cannot stress enough that the karma we create by staying places longer than we're supposed to be there, things get wiped out, or our biggest fears, those get, wiped out, or it's harder to achieve something because we wait too long, or, it's not just having the strength, it's knowing when and how to use that. So, we can, when we are in the flow and using our intuition and flowing with things like water, that is when we make the best decisions, when we're coming from that nature and our authenticity. When we are in it, it's really easy to dodge and dive around the outside forces coming into attack. It doesn't matter because you're in your flow, you're in your thing, you're doing what you need to be doing when you need to be doing it, and you're solid, because no outside forces can really touch you because you already faced that. Like you can't be phased if you have already conquered those darknesses. You already know how to beat that darkness when it comes to approach you, because those are the things that we get hit with, are our weaknesses. And this does go for everybody. So I think that is, I think that's going to be it for the messages today. But doubt or denial or just being reluctant, or, what's the word I'm looking for? Like procrastination. This is eclipse season right now too. It happens to be, this message will be throughout any time of our life, that this message can apply. But things are really, things are continuing to break down over and over in this big shift that's been happening over the last few years. But these times, especially in particular, the truths will keep becoming exposed, and that's externally and that's internally as well. So the more we are in our truth, the better it is. So this message is ultimately just about knowing thyself. So knowing those shadow parts, knowing when, just going with it. So tap into the father side and the mother side. That's the female and masculine internally, and get in the flow. That's the mind and the heart. That's when those two are put together. That's when we can manifest the things that we want to manifest. We have to know when, and we have to know thyself in order to do that. So just keep in mind, the mother aspects will teach you, the feminine, how to use those superpowers and when to use them. So we very, very much need that intuition as well as the strength. So I will catch you guys later, and have a good one.